Hey YouTube and Caymanas Park Turf Fights. Welcome back to Down the Stretch. I'm your host Christopher Charlton. Yesterday started off great, and then the rain came, and then I think I ran is the most seconds I think I ran in a long while. But that's a part of racing. So let's get right into this Sunday program. All right, starting off in the first. Let me get my form up here. I don't have a race book, and I working off the book online. Yeah, so the first race is for native bred 5 years and up, none of 3, and imported 5 years and up, none of 2, 9 starters, 6.5 furlongs. Is the trip. Um, it's not a claiming race, but it's not the best set of horses either. I'm going to boil this race down to 3 horses. I think Everston Stone and General Chief, if they get a good break, I think them going to prevail. I think Spencer Chung stable is going to start moving a little better. Horse when yesterday looked very good, in good condition and everything. So I think the stable might be going to get a resurgence of form. I'd also carry the 3 Who Done It and the 4 Tap It Good. When a horse like Tap It Good come back this quick, it definitely means Tap It Good is probably very fit. So I have to bring him back. And also if just move in the 1 horse, he's also coming back out of the same race with Tap It Good, and he's also coming back real quick. So the possibility is that they're very fit. So I have to go with those 4, not 3, those 4. So the 2 General Chief, 3 Who Done It, 4 Tap It Good, and the 1 Just Move In. All right, moving to the second race. This is a Fila 6, 3-year-olds and up, optional claiming, 250, 6-year-olds and up, none of 3, native bred 5-year-olds and up, none of 2. They go 5 furlongs round. Boy. Race like this. You have Stanislaus, who's very speedy, but not a horse that goes around the bend. So I'm not sure I want to trust him here going around the bend. I have Excuse Me Goodbye, also very speedy, but just releasing his maiden tag. And then you have the horse that a very interesting horse in race that I like is Slam Silano. And I like Slam Silano. I think Slam Silano has a good shot here. He's a top rated horse in the race, so I have to think he has a good shot coming out of 250 claimer. And then you have Noble Impulse. Yeah, I'm going to boil it down to 3 horses. The 1, Excuse Me Goodbye, the 2, Slam Silano, and the 4, Noble Impulse. I think I'll take a chance with Slam Silano, to be honest. He's the top rated horse, and I generally go with the top rated horses in these kind of races. Yeah, going to the third. Third race is 3-year-olds and up, optional claimer, 400,000, and 6-year-olds and up, none of 4. 8 horses take part, 5.5 furlongs is the distance. And interesting little contest here. I think I'm going to boil it down to 4. That's going to be the 6 Silver Fox, the 8 Sticky Dan, the 7 Fair It Is, and the 5 Dodge This Link. I think I'm going to give Silver Fox the edge. Silver Fox has that kind of speed against these horses that if we make it to the bend, way in front, although he's not really a horse that goes around the bend, but he's a lot higher class horse than Stanislaus, which I just didn't like going around the bend. He has been around the bend. The last time he was around the bend was last year, September. But has been up the straight the last several times. But he's definitely faster than these in this race. I don't think Dodge just didn't have the speed to really go with him early. So if his knees hold out around the bend, I think Silver Fox might outsprint them. A dangerous horse to watch is a horse like Sticky Dan. Sticky Dan finishing fast. Sticky Dan is a sneaky little horse when him fit, So if him can come into this race fresh, him have the bustling Phil Parchment. And I think if him can get a nice run at them in the stretch, I think Sticky Dan going to run a good race. Fear It Is ran a big race on last to T. Brady. with 6 furlongs when he was right up with the pace the whole way. Another run like that will see Favorite is definitely fighting this out. And the 5 Dodge This Link gets 3 pounds from Abigail Abel, so I'm coming at 117. The last run, he never have no chance against those horses were out of class to him. So he's basically coming down in class against these. The distance not going to be any problem to Dodge This Link. So he's definitely, I would think he's more the horse to beat in this race is Dodge This Link. Yeah, so I think the winner will come from one of those 4. 5 Dodge This Link, 6 Silver Fox, 7 Favorite, and the 8 Sticky Don. The 4th race, that is going, it's a 3-year-old maiden race, 9 starters, 6 furlongs. Wow, and I never realized Tiffany Blue is still a maiden. Wow. Okay, so we have 9 starters here. And I boiled it down to 3. The 1 Tiffany Blue, the 6 Seaplane, and the 8 D-Bay Machine. If you notice in my recent video, I showed where D-Bay Machine was horribly hindered in the last race. And here he is 1 week later. 6 furlongs looks a little sharp for him, but he was showing speed in that same race where he was hindered, where Himalaya won. And he was very prominent before being hindered up to at least, I think, to the half mile. So I have to squeeze him back in here, even though I think this might be a little short for him. Seaplane was also coming out of a race that the Bay Machine was in. I think that race was won by Solar Black, yeah. Was prominent most of the way. Parchment here on another ride that I like. And the other horse I like in the race is Tiffany Blue. Tiffany Blue has been running, just finding it a little tough. Always finding 1 or 2 better. You know, Breath of Fresh Air one better, and Indestructible was behind her in that race. Indestructible come back and win. Bushfire recently defeated her. She was in front of the General. The General come back and win. And recently, Irish Wish. So I don't know if that trend is going to be set here, because she was in front of Senita Estrella. So I wonder if Senita Estrella going to come back and be in front of her here. So you'd have to put Senita Estrella in the list of things here. Coming in with a claim is claiming 2 pounds as well. So yeah, I think it's 4. Yeah, I'd boil it down to maybe 4, not 3, 4. Because if you're going to give Tiffany Blue a chance, you have to give Chinita Estrella a chance. Yeah, so I'm going to boil it down to those 4. The 1 Tiffany Blue, the 2 Chinita Estrella, the 6 Seaplane, and the horse that I pointed out recently had a bad hindrance in his race, D-Bay Machine. I think the winner will come from one of those 4. The 5th race, the Titania Trophy. It's for native bred 3-year-olds and outlanders of 2 fillies and mares, 9 starters, 5.5 furlongs is the trip. And this is a competitive race. You know, it's not one of these little easy. It's a very competitive race. It's a race where you have to really dig in and find. So I'm going to boil it down to 4. It's going to be the 2 Sipping on Sunshine. Recent winner, 3 Himalaya. A horse that I always like, but him just not performing, but I think is way better than he is. The 5 Battle Angel and the 6 Francis from the Back to Farm stable of Richard Azan. Now, Sipping on Sunshine. Sipping on Sunshine is a naturally speedy horse. Not showing nothing in his last 4 starts, but his very last start against Miss Cherry, that's the race that I think is going to make him come back in this race and run a good race. He was only 5.25 lengths behind Miss Cherry and Indestructible, the 29th of September. Since then, has come back and worked 4 furlongs, 50, the first 3 in 36.3. I think that's a very good work coming here. Here on Saturday, get to ride. Himalaya, although stepping up in class, the win that Himalaya won on last was very, very impressive. It was a very impressive win. And just on the strength of that performance, I think Himalaya going to have a good shot here. Down back in distance. The last time was at this distance was second to Faith Downey. But I think Himalaya is on the improve now, you know. She just, remember, she's a 3 year old, so I think she's at the stage of when she's going a rapid improvement. So I'm going to give Himalaya a shot here at a price. The 5 Battle Angel, who has been disappointing, has been really disappointing most recent stats. Thought this horse would have really left this grade already, but Walker is back in the saddle after a horrible run in the Reprieve Trophy. Has been in the ring, so he might have been showing some negative tendencies because Nunes has him only trotting in the ring, trot. So he doesn't really need a gallop, so that means he's very fit. He doesn't have to gallop him, he's not cantering him. So let's see what's going to work out here for this Battle Angel. And the 6, who I think is the horse they're going to have to beat, is Francis. Came off a 2-month break and last, and only was 3 lengths behind Miss Sherry and Indestructible. Dawkins now gets the ride here for Richard Azan. There you see him working on the 6th of October. He worked with Miss Sherry in 36 and 2, and has just been trotted coming into this race. So that means he's super fit. So I think Francis is the horse you have to beat. So I'm working with those 4. The 2 Sipping on Sunshine, the 3 Himalaya, the 5 Battle Angel, and the horse I think they have to beat, Francis. The 6th race. A native bred 4 years and up, non-winners of 3. Imported 4 years and up, non-winners of 2. Big field of 13, 5 furlong straight is the trip. And I've boiled this race down to maybe 4 or 5. I think I boiled this race down to 5 horse. The 4 Acknowledge Me, the 7 Golden Loyalty, the 12 Digital Light, 1 Don Pablo, and my dark horse Kismet. I just think Kismet just not running up to him true potential, so I have to slip Kismet in there. Okay. Number 4, Acknowledge Me. It depends which Acknowledge Me is going to race. If this is Acknowledge Me of earlier this year, this is not going to be a race. It's going to be a ramp. If that's the Acknowledge Me we get. If we get the Acknowledge Me race in March, this is not going to be a race. It's going to be an absolute walkover for him. But are we going to get that Acknowledge Me? Cantering at the track, last workout from the gate, strode 5 in 108. Very good. That's a very good work. It's a strong work. So soundness, I think, is no problem. I think this horse is sound. So potentially very fit. Blinkers are now off. The last time it was on, they've removed it. I think that's a good move. And I think Acknowledge Me is definitely, if he's 80%, is the horse you're going to have to beat. The 7 Golden Loyalty has a chance here off of his recent races. Was only 2 lengths off of Lady Abimala and Digital Light and Uncle Nub in his last start. After coming off a 2 months break. Gets Philip Parchment. Philip Parchment's on some very live rides. His last work coming into this race, 5 furlong straight in 102 and 4. Very good work there. I think this Golden Loyalty has a very good shot. The 12 Digital Light has been racing basically every week, but does so in good condition. T Faster gets a ride for Gary Griffiths. He's as fit as hands can make him, so you can't leave this Digital Light out. Last time over the straight was second to Lady Abimala, so definitely going to be in here with a shot. The 1 Don Pablo, Speedy Sart. Just coming to this grade after an impressive win at 6 furlongs. Gets Shane Richardson, claims 2 pounds, so he's coming in here at 113 pounds. 5 straight is no problem for him, although he was beaten by Blinking Light over the 5 straight by more than 10 lengths. To be honest, I don't think Blinking Light can beat him again. Just being honest there. Because you remember back in June, he was beaten by Password at the time when Password was on his improved. He was beaten by Golden Syrup over the straight as well. I think this horse is now on the improve. His last work coming into this race was 4 furlong straight in 49 flat. That's very good. So I think Don Pablo is coming here to run. And my dark horse of the race is Kismet. He finally jumped on last. He usually just stands up at the gate and then walks out. He came out of the gate. He was at the furlong pole. He was third, so he did show up that he was in, and that was against Baby Love, who was just way out of class. He was only beaten by 10 lengths, so only 3 3/4 lengths behind Digital Light. So I think that's a good sign here for Kismet. So if Kismet jumps today again over the straight, which I think is a more better race for Kismet, I think we're going to get a very good run for Kismet at a price. So I'd use Kismet in my superfectors and my high fives. Okay, moving on to the 7th. This one is the Royal Dad Trophy. Native bred 3-year-old and 4-year-olds, non-winners of 4, and imported 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3. Small field of 6. They're going 2 turns, 9 furlongs and 25 yards, which is considered the sprinter's paradise. All right, it's 6 horses, and I'm just going to go with 3. And to be honest, I love Mac and Rome. Mac and Rome is my choice here. Over Riches to Rags, but the run on last with Mac and Rome was way out tight at 6 furlongs in impressive force race. Way out tight, and Mac and Rome came wide, and he was really running on and only lost by 3 3/4 lengths to impressive force. And in that race, the unlucky Riches to Rags, who I thought probably would have won that race if he wasn't hindered, I think maybe 2 times in that race. I think he probably would have won, but I think Mac and Rome now getting the extra 3 furlongs, I think this is going to suit Mac and Rome. Plus, his last 2 wins were in the range of this 9 furlongs and 25 yards and 9.5 furlongs. I think Mac and Rome, this is just like a pet trip for Mac and Rome, so I think Mac and Rome is the horse you're going to have to beat. Riches to Rags, definitely in here with a maximum shot. The distance is what I'm questioning about Riches to Rags. Riches to Rags is not a pace horse. And in a race like this where the pace is generally going to be slow, he's going to have to be early. So I don't know if that's going to take him out of his comfort zone of being early. But he's going to have to be early if he have a chance. He can't be way off the pace in a 9.25 yards of this caliber and have a chance. He's going to have to be close enough. So if he stays the trip, if Richard Surratt gets the trip, it won't be a problem for him. But that's the question. Does he get that extra 2 or 3 furlongs? Definitely has the class though, so you can't leave him. You have to carry him because he definitely has the class. And the 3rd horse in the race I'm going to use is another horse that I featured recently. I had a bad trip on the 12th of October. That is the Jason DeCosta's Teflon Don. I showed you he was hindered badly in his last start, where She's That Girl ran away from them and still managed to only beat 7 lengths 5th. Stretching out to 9.25 now, which might be a little taxing for him, but here's the thing about Teflon Don now. I am pretty sure Teflon Don is going to be the lone speed at this event. And if Teflon Don gets loose on the lead and say they set fractions like 1:16 for 6 furlongs, he can just probably sprint to the line for the next 3 furlongs. So if they make Teflon Don get loose on that lead, I think Teflon Don might spring the upset here. But if a horse like probably Lady Princess Amali decides to go and press him, well, it can fall into the hands of Mac and Rome. So those are my 3. The 4 Mac and Rome gets my choice. Riches to Rags, definitely there, but watch out for Teflon Don if they allow him to get loose on that lead. Okay, the 8th race. This is for native bred 4-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2, and imported 4-year-olds and up maiden. 9 starters, 8 furlongs is the distance. I boiled this race down to 3. The 1 Glittering Magnum, the 5 Money Box, and the 4 Papa Grey. Glittering Magnum, I think he's suited to the mile. I think the mile won't be that taxing for him. His running style, he has a nice pace stalker kind of style of running. He draws 1. Gets a nice thick of freshening coming back into this. Worked 5 furlongs in 105 breeze. So I think him coming in here fit. T Foster gets the call. So watch this glittering magnum. The next horse I like in the race is Money Box. Money Box. Disappointing run on last at 7.5 furlongs. Come back really quick now. The visors are now on and the cheek pieces are off. I think that's probably a good move. I think they want him to be a little more focused in the race, and I think the visor is going to help. The cheek pieces, he only ran in the cheek pieces the last 3 times. So I think the cheek pieces, I don't know why they removed the cheek pieces, That's kind of bothering me because the cheek pieces seem to help him. You can't just throw it off because of the last run. He had 2 other runs before that where, he ran well. But still have to use him there. And the horse I think they're going to have to really beat is Papa Gray. I think Papa Gray jumps on this lead with Samantha Fletcher and they're just going to have to run their heart out. I think Papa Gray definitely. I like Papa Gray in this race as a price horse. But as I said, those are my 3. The 1 Glittering Magnum, the 4 Papa Gray, and the 5 Money Box. The 9th and final. This is the Nigel B. Nunes Memorial Cup. It's for 3-year-olds and up, overnight allowance. Another big field of 13, 5 furlongs straight. This is going to be this was a tough race to handicap. Plus, I already did I hate handicapping 5 straight races. So this was a tough one for me to handicap. But I've broken down to 5 horses. 5. The 2 Antarctica, the 7 Taurus Boy, the 8 Press Conference, the 12 A Gift from Ben, and I don't know how fit this horse is, but if this horse is 70% fit, he wins by at least 6 lengths, Blue Vinyl. But the thing is, we don't know how fit he is. Yeah, so let me go through this now. All right. My long shot in the race to watch is definitely going to be the 2 horse, the 2 Antarctica. A lot of people might not like this horse here, but Antarctica is to me is an enigma. Sometimes he turns up and sometimes he doesn't. He's a pace horse, right? But this is 5 straight. 5 straight tends to suit horses that like to go journey but have pace. But just because Antarctica goes a distance and run and win doesn't mean he's really a journey horse. Because Jamaica does not really have stamina horses now. Antarctica's races that he has won is a mile and 7 furlongs. 7 furlongs to a mile is considered a sprint, But they call it an intermediate sprint. So, and horses that get 7 furlongs can get the 5 straight. So, and that strength, I'm definitely going to give Antarctica an outside shot here. With his speed, he's not going to be allowed to outsprint these, I know that. But I'm just saying the stamina that Antarctica possesses with his speed should see him can probably grab a place here for the exotic bets. So Antarctica is my long shot to watch in this race. The 7 horse, Taurus Boy now. Taurus Boy this is his favorite trip. Fianna has called for Richard Henry to claim 3 pounds. Taurus Boy loves the 5 straight. Last time over it was 3rd to Sensational Move and Freedom Street. The last time he won, he was beating KP Chas and Volatility, and we know Volatility is a 5 straight expert. So Taurus Boy, I've had the strength of that. I think Taurus Boy has an excellent chance. Has worked 36.3 coming into this race, so he's very fit. The horse I think they're going to have to beat if Blue Vinyl doesn't turn up is Press Conference. This Press Conference have been just racing with some tougher horses, Them try 5 furlongs, they go 6.5, they go 5.5, they go 7.5 with him, and he's running good races all the while. Radish Roman gets back the ride, so I think, and he runs very well for Radish Roman. And last time over the straight, he was 3rd to Joyce Golden, who's also in this race, but he was carrying 126 pounds if you look on that day. And I think Joy is Golden. That race, Press Conference carried 126, and Joy is Golden carried. Let me try and find that. Scroll through the computer here. Yeah, Giles Golden carried 114. So press conference was giving him 12 pounds in that race. Now Joyce Golden is coming in with Samantha Fletcher at 121 and press conference coming at 116. So he's now getting 5 pounds from Joyce Golden. So at the handicaps, I definitely think he turns the tables on Joyce Golden. So yeah, press conference is the horse I think they're going to have to beat if Blue Vinyl doesn't turn up. The next selection I like in the race is A Gift from Ben. Has been running some dismal races recently, but we know that this A Gift from Ben is way better. His last good run was the second to Desert of Malibu, where he was in front of Mahogany. Although we know that Desert of Malibu caused interference to Mahogany in the last, causing A Gift from Ben to pass him. But the mere fact that they only beat him by 3.5 lengths in that race, although they ran themselves into the ground. And A Gift from Ben has not been the same since that race because he was chasing them from the gates open. He was just chasing. Worked well recently at the 28th of September. He worked a minute and 2/5. First 4 and 46, and then 3 in a clinker. Came 5.5 and was beaten in the perfect book, but showed up. He was early up onto the top of the lane. They called for Dick Cardenas and now do not sleep on this A Gift from Ben because he has definitely run with better horses than these. He was in A1 for several starts, so we cannot rule out this A Gift from Ben. If we throw out the last 3 starts, I think A Gift from Ben is in here with a very, very live shot. And Blue Vinyl, what we can say about Blue Vinyl now, which is the right Blue Vinyl turning up. Because if it is, this is not going to be a race. Hasn't been seen since last year, November. He was supposed to run in the Mute Mile, was scratched lame. Coming into this race has only been seen trotting and canting. But from a horse can cant, legs are sound enough. So I think probably they're swimming this horse, which will get a horse very fit. Comes in here with the top weight, draws perfectly drawn at 13. So this horse just has to remember how he raced to beat this field, but the fitness, we don't sure how racing fit he is, because as you say, we haven't seen him in almost a year, but comes here fresh, he's trotting, he's at the track. So once the 75% fit Blue Vinyl turns up, this is not going to be a race. Yeah, but that is not necessarily what will happen. So as I said before, my long shot in the race to put in the exotics is the 2 Antarctica. Taurus Boy, who loves the straight. Press Conference, who I think if Blue Vinyl doesn't turn up is the horse to beat. A Gift from Ben, if he just have a turnaround in form, will definitely be fighting this out. And if a 70% Blue Vinyl returns here, it won't be a race. Those are my 5 selections, and work with that how you like. Okay, until tomorrow, guys, good luck and be safe.